Got another question for you. What do you think of Jesus Christ? Follow-up question, what do you think about his claims to be the way, the truth, and the life? No one comes to the Father but by me. End quote. That's a quote from Jesus. What do you think about that? That is a very unique claim. This, of course, was the 1-2 punch of interview questions I asked in every interview we did in Heaven's Metal and HM Magazine in the section that was called What So-and-So Says, where we would deviate from the Christian hard music, heavy metal coverage and talk to a band in the mainstream, a rock star, and ask them about music and art and what's going on in their career, as well as those 2 questions about Jesus. One of the things I like about the what do you think of Jesus Christ question is it cuts right through the religious baggage. You know, I'm not asking you, have you ever been harmed by a member of the church or the clergy? I'm not asking you if you grew up in the church and if you were ever turned off by somebody else's behavior. I'm asking you, what do you think of Jesus? So it cuts right through all that and gets to what could be the most important question of the entire universe. This is Romeo, my tuxedo cat. He's not on camera very often, but every once in a while he is. Second question, what do you think about his claims to be the way, the truth, and the life? No one comes to the Father but by me. You know, C.S. Lewis made that quote in this phrase, and this is kind of in a different order, but Lord, liar, or lunatic. You know, it's documented that Jesus said this. You've got Jewish non-Christian historians like Josephus documenting the life, the miracles, the teaching of Jesus. And Jesus made this claim, and this claim wasn't a claim that would make him popular. Like to tell a Jewish person that he was the way, the truth, and the life, no one comes to the Father but by me, that was like signing your own death warrant. It was like saying, I'm a heretic, because those people did not believe that he was, because he was making himself out to be God. And so I guess he hadn't done enough to prove that he was God in the flesh for them. And so, you know, it got him in trouble. It got him ultimately killed. And so what C.S. Lewis did with that phrase was said, well, you know, he's either a liar and he's not really the only way, the truth, and the life. And if he's a liar, he's certainly not a good teacher, because a lot of people say, oh, Jesus, yeah, he was alive. I can't deny history and the calendar, the year 2025, based on the year of the Lord when he came here. People don't deny that Jesus really lived, that he was a historical figure, but they'll dismiss him as he was a good moral teacher. Just one of a few, maybe one of many good teachers. Well, if he was a liar, he's certainly not a good teacher, because good teachers teach the truth. They don't perpetuate a lie. And if Jesus said that and he thought he was God, but he wasn't, he was a lunatic. He was bipolar, he was delusional, and certainly don't call him a good teacher, because he's going to lead us astray if he doesn't even know who he is. And so the other option is he's Lord. These truths stand up to who he is, who he said he was. And so he's Lord, and we need to respond in kind and basically say, you're right, I'll follow you. You're the Lord, you're the boss. I love what Robert Sweet said on the back of the very first Stryper album, which was an EP, The Yellow and Black Attack. The special thanks was to the boss man. And even though that might seem trite or a little modern to some people, I think it's a really good way to describe God. You know, Lord is kind of a British term. Lord, the Lord manna, the Lord said to us that day, the Lord Thomas came to our meeting and blessed us with his presence. You know, people don't use that phrase Lord anymore. They don't lord it over us with a big word. But boss is a word we all understand. So if you call Jesus boss, or the boss man, the one in charge, it's kind of a cool synonym to add to the list of who he is to us. He's our boss. So join the discussion. Tell us what you think. And also, if you like this shirt, the shirt is available over at Anchor Merchandising. They have that. You can get this on a coffee mug, a thermos, tennis shoes, big giant wall banner, t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, and whatnot. Anyway, and also this is a t-shirt that I designed to promote my book, Rock Stars on God, and that's available. You'll see the link on this video, and watch the commercial Rock Stars on God that Seth Matoyer created for it.
Rock stars on God, caught in the fire, searching for me.